Number 5. On the 17th of April 2018, 43-year-old Jennifer Riordan died in one of the most bizarre and unusual ways imaginable. Jennifer was seated in seat 14 on Southwest Airlines flight. A beautiful window seat for the flight back home from New York to Dallas. Only a few minutes into the flight there was a loud sound as fan blade number 13 had broken off inside the left engine and sent shrapnel hurling against the side of the plane. At 32,000 feet Jennifer's window was gone and she was sucked halfway through the hole in the side of the plane. The pilot struggled for 17 minutes to guide the damaged plane to an emergency landing. At this time passengers were fighting to save Jennifer, a mother of 2. They eventually got her back into the plane and started CPR. After the plane made an emergency landing, Jennifer was rushed to a hospital. She would however die from blunt impact trauma of the head, neck, and torso. Jennifer was pulled out of the plane while it was traveling at 600 miles per hour. Number 4. In March 2019, 21-year-old Margaret Moore, better known as Meg, went on a spring break trip with a couple of her friends. Meg was a senior at Tulane University in New Orleans, and she was majoring in ecology and evolutionary biology. The group of friends made a pit stop on the 5th of March 2019 at a rest area off Interstate 10 eastbound near Gaudier, Mississippi. The unthinkable happened when an 18-wheeler driving westbound lost one of its rear dual tires. The massive pair of tires, which are bolted together, weigh roughly 500 pounds. The tires came off, crossed the median strip and the eastbound lanes. It then entered the parking lot of the rest area as Meg was walking back to the car with her friends. The security guard at the rest stop told police he was at the entrance ramp on his golf cart when he saw an 18-wheeler tire bouncing at a high rate of speed coming through the grass. After seeing the tire bouncing, he heard screams coming from the west side of the parking area. The tire traveled almost 850 feet before it hit Meg. When police arrived on the scene, there was a witness performing CPR. Margaret Moore was however pronounced dead at the scene. The tires also damaged 2 vehicles, but nobody else was hurt. The police investigation concluded that it was a freak accident due to equipment failure, and they do not suspect any wrongdoing on the driver's part. Number 3. We all have taken a selfie and sent them to friends, family, or posted them online. Normally this would cause no harm at all. For 26-year-old Alexander Chechik from Russia, this would, however, be the last thing he ever did. Alexander was found dead in his car, torn to shreds by an explosion. The investigators were rather confused by what they had found. Alexander was split in 2 without any obvious cause. When they later went through his phone, they found a selfie of Alexander holding a hand grenade. The Russian Investigate Committee would also find a picture of Alexander holding the hand grenade after he pulled the pin. Apparently, he was trying to impress his friends, and he thought that the grenade would only explode if he threw it. Despite Russia having the highest suicide rate for males in the world, Alexander's death has been ruled an accident. According to Russia's Interfax news service, police have launched an investigation into the illegal trafficking of weapons and ammunition. Number 2. On the 9th of March 2018, 24-year-old Ateef Rafiq was enjoying a movie with his wife, Ayesha Sarder, at the Vue Cinema in Birmingham, England. After the movie was finished, he stood up and could not find his phone or keys. Ateef thought that they might have slipped down the side of his reclining seat, so he stuck his head under the footrest of the gold-class seats. His head got stuck under the electric footrest that placed a minimum of 250 kilograms of pressure on his neck. His wife noticed what had happened and attempted to hold up the footrest, but Ateef was only freed after the footrest was broken 15 minutes later by those trying to save him. He, however, suffered a heart attack that was triggered by the lack of oxygen to his brain. Emergency services were contacted and they were able to restart Ateef's heart, and he was rushed to the Heartlands Hospital. He would unfortunately die only a week later due to hypoxic brain injury on the 16th of March 2018. It was later discovered that a fuse on the gold-class seat had been blown and that parts of the footrest mechanism had been fitted incorrectly and were never tested. The Birmingham Crown Court has fined the cinema chain £750,000. The company, however, said that there have been 5 million visitors to screens and about 49 accidents. That indicates how responsible the company is in relation to risk. Number 1. In 2018, a series of simple choices would cost an elderly woman in Washington state her life. A Dippin' Dots delivery driver decided to lend his car to his wife so that she can take his mother, Hildegard Whitting, aged 77, home after she had visited. They left the house at around 11 p.m. The next morning, when he woke up at about 4 a.m. to go to work, he realized that his wife was not back yet. Then he spotted his car only a few blocks away from his home. Both women were still in the car and they were unresponsive and appeared to be unconscious. He was able to break his wife out of the car using a rock. He then called 911. Hildegard would, unfortunately, be pronounced dead on the scene. Her 51-year-old daughter-in-law was rushed to the hospital and was hospitalized in a critical condition. The Pierce County Medical Examiner's office said the elderly woman likely died from asphyxiation caused by dry ice that was stored in the vehicle. Dry ice is a solid form of carbon dioxide. It is used primarily as a cooling agent, but is also used in fog machines at theaters for dramatic effects. According to the University of Washington's Department of Environmental Health and Safety, dry ice will change from solid to gas at any temperature above -109 degrees Fahrenheit or -78.5 degrees Celsius. The Dippin' Dots delivery driver had 4 coolers full of dry ice in his vehicle because he delivered ice cream to various locations. He also recently got a new car that meant that the car sealed better. According to the medical examiner, dry ice by itself is not going to kill anyone, but the newer car that sealed better and the dry ice that changed from its solid state to its gas state caused the odorless carbon dioxide to displace the oxygen quickly in the vehicle. This process would have caused difficulty breathing, loss of consciousness, and then eventually death in the case of Hildegard. Dry ice is especially dangerous in non-ventilated or confined spaces. Thank you so much for watching. What is the most bizarre death you have ever heard of? Please like and subscribe for more.